I need to dress up a little more for that thing today. I can throw on a different shirt.
It's totally up to you.
I was
I
a
don't
little
even,
sweaty today.
it's a pretty chill place, pretty casual
Yeah,
place.
it's sort of, I was kind of hoping that was the case.
Yeah, it is.
Do we have any new faces that I don't know?
Nope.
Chris. It's gonna be like speed dating.
All right. Oh, wow.
Oh,
I'm going to maximize on that, the lull in the conversation. Let's go ahead and get our meeting started. Sound good?
yeah, let's go.
All right, let's do it. All right. We are always excited for Tuesdays. Always excited to see you. I love all the conversation. I love all the life y'all bring to the office because there's some days it's a little quiet around here. So it's awesome.
What's in the summer? What are you guys doing?
Exactly. What are you doing, Lacey's? Jamaica. How was that?
So good.
Good.
Yaman?
So good. Come on. Yeah. So many.
Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump in. Let's tell me something good. Jamaica's pretty good. Oh,
It's all right.
yes, Christy.
So the Kansas City Star is running a cinnamon roll competition, and out of 83 bakeries that were nominated, I topped round one with, I was the most voted on round one out of all 83 bakeries within the Kansas City realm. Round two kicks off today, and I'm super excited. I had over 400 votes.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Congratulations. There you go.
Congrats.
As of right now, I'm the best roll in Kansas City.
So tell us, can we vote? Do we get to vote?
Round two starts then, should be sending the link in the next 30 minutes, so everybody just kind of goes on there and votes for their favorite person. I'm rated to round two. There's the top 16 semifinal and the next 10 finals.
Sweet.
It's the Kansas City Star that's doing it. So yeah, I can post the link in
Yeah.
here if you want, but it's just, you just go to Kansas City Star Cinnamon Rolls and the whole thing will pop up.
Cool. Very good. That's exciting.
That is cool.
What else?
I think we need Sam.
Amen.
Yeah.
Samples.
Knew that was
She
coming.
did. She did. Who else has got something good?
Tell us something good.
Vacations. Yeah, what you got? Yay! You did it. You did it. You got them all across that finish. Down. It's not the finish line, but that big line. Good job. That's exciting.
How about tell us about the initiative, Kerrville and,
I would love to. Can I show you a video?
oh, you got it?
I got a video.
Yeah, yeah.
Caesar was here. He didn't get home till 9 o'clock last night
Okay.
working on this. So this is his work and I'm excited. So yes, we did, if you guys remember that big initiative for the flood victims, and I want to show you how it turned out.
When we heard about the devastating floods down in Central Texas, we just knew we had them. So we quickly mobilized a small group of realtors right here at Keller Williams Southland, and we put our brains together to say, what can we do? And we were able to put together a supply drive. For the last 2.5 weeks, we've been collecting different supplies that they need down there. And so we are partnering with Keller Williams Kerrville, and they have become like a hub and a center for relief workers and first responders and the people affected by these floods who really need this. And so we've got things from chainsaws, bottled water, pet food, we've got cleaning supplies, buckets, everything you need to help with this relief and the disaster that is going on down there. Our agents have stepped up, our vendors, our community, area businesses. We are truly overwhelmed with gratitude at what we've been able to collect. And here in a little bit, we're going to load up a truck and we're going to send that truck down there to Kerrville. And we just hope that our neighbors in Texas, our friends who are hurting down there, we know that their friends right here in the Midwest care. We love them. We're with them in spirit. So Thank you to our community and everybody who's helped us. We're so grateful.
Keeps going, all the stuff that came in here. And Lacey kept track of all of the inventory too. All right, so give yourselves a big hand. Good job.
Hey. Can I add something to that?
Yes, you can.
We have a leadership call on Mondays, and it's after our regional leadership. This is an international call. So it's the leaders of the market centers in North America as well as internationally. So you have people from all over the world on the call, as you would imagine. And these are the leaders of these market centers. So Brandy was featured on that call. So she had an opportunity to speak and share this information along with the Kerrville Market Center. So, oh, there we go. There we go. You
This is what it looks like. What you're talking about right there.
Sorry, I took.
No, you're
sorry,
fine.
I didn't know you had more.
This is cool.
Yeah, but that's really, really cool to even be able to present anything on that call is amazing. And I think we would have had some local TV time if it wasn't for that raging storm that came in,
The
right?
flash flood that
Yeah.
came through last.
What's that?
It's true. We
Oh.
loaded the moving truck in a flash
Also, we
flood.
were still on Channel 5.
They were
Really?
going to show it, but they never, she told me they got reassigned.
No,
Oh,
well, whatever we submitted,
Yeah.
they showed it.
wow,
There you
that
go.
would have been nice to know.
Job.
I'm hearing
We'll
this.
find it. We'll find it. Yeah.
Okay, so we were on Channel 5 News. Thank you. This is the international leadership call with over 1,200 people on their leaders in the company. And guys, we did it. We're sometimes we're a little Southland. I mean, we're not a little office, but in the big scheme of things, we kind of are. And so we get overlooked a lot of times because we're not throwing up the massive numbers and the massive stuff. But you know what? We did something really cool, and I would love to be known for something like this. And Karen for our fellow agents and other people down there in Kerrville. So this Lacey joined me on the call because she was super pivotal in orchestrating the organization of all of this. These are the ladies down in Kerrville that we connected. And it was pretty cool. Like this is just a kind of a bonus, but when we sent pictures of what our front desk looked like and how there was just stuff everywhere and Lacey was there and our logos, when we got pictures from their front desk looked almost exactly the same. Take off one logo, put on the other logo, like it had the same layout, same design. I'm like, this is just cool.
That's cool.
And then Brian, we loaded the truck in a pouring rain, and we did have, I don't have it here, but we do have an after picture with all of us just soaked. But we did load it faster that way. That's true. That's true. So I just wanted to take a few minutes of time to brag on all of you guys, all of our office, thank you for pushing out that flyer, for collecting donations, for all the stuff you did. Ryan, you had a huge, you connected with Willow Wind over here and they were a huge contributor. Guys, here's the thing, College Hunks Moving Company, they volunteered their truck, their driver, the gas, and spent it was 2 days of time to drive down there, our stuff, to drive it down and bring it back. And so pretty cool there. And maybe we'll have him come in and introduce himself to you guys. So yes. This the one that was on the video? We can. Here's the thing, they didn't ask me. They were going to come and we were ready for them. And then last minute, the reporter said, we're getting reassigned because of the storm that's moving in. We can't come, just send us a video. So I'm like,
I bet
The international call.
oh, the international call. I can probably find it on replay. Yes, sorry. I was thinking the only video I knew. Okay, you're right. I think that's on replay. So when I'll find it, I could push that out. Yep. Well, what we did was we took the cash and we bought stuff with it. One of the things we're super proud of, I'm super proud of, chainsaws. They wanted blades and chain and bar oil. We were able to actually go get fresh chainsaws. So we paid for 3 and Lowe's kicked in 2 more. So we sent 5 down there in addition to all the other amazing cool stuff. And they were so thankful for all of it.
I got some pictures of me holding the chainsaw. It's pretty cool.
Wasn't it upside down?
I did have it backwards. Yeah. Yeah, Paul, stay away from chainsaws.
All right, all right. Well, very cool. Thanks for giving us a few minutes to brag on the office here and just know good stuff. It was good stuff. All right, we got to go back here. Oh, hold on. Tell me something good. Oh, we did that. We're good. Anybody else have one last chance to tell me something good?
Okay.
Okay, now we're on to vendors. There we go. We're getting there.
Stuff going on.
There we go. Our preferred vendors. All right. We're grateful for you. It's Lisa here. She is like running today. And all right. She told me she may
Let's
pop
give her a
back.
day off.
Let's give her a day off. Let's
Yeah.
do that.
She's earned it.
All right. We are going to, we're going to ask you vendors to maybe give us your 90-second, because we got a full meeting today. So let's do Todd Branson. Let's go Todd with Fairway.
All right, so two big wins. Oh, hey buddy. Two huge wins. Thursday, two closings that other lenders said no, and we said yes. Now, candidly, both situations sounded doable when they presented them to me, but when I get them from the client, not always exactly how it's presented, right? Jake, Camille has a listing. Was it in Butler? Is that what the house was in Butler? She had the sale. It was her listing and Jake's sale. And 2 days before closing, the lender said no. So immediately, everything ramps up in anxiety. So I get the file, structure it, get it figured out, clear to close, closing Thursday. Teresa Stocking had a file that the lender said no. Sends it to me. I structured it. It's a big house in Lee Summit sale and a big house in Lee Summit, about $1.1 million together, purchase. So it's different when I look at something that somebody has already beaten to death. I'm looking at it at different angles. I'm looking at different, I'm trying something different. The basics are, some lenders are just a little more conservative, and we'll be conservative, but we also know we're big enough where we can take some risk. Some banks just won't do that. They won't take the risk because they can't. I love your hand, man. You doing okay? Yeah. So, that dealing with a smaller bank or smaller lender, it isn't necessarily size, but they just don't want to take the risk. So when they're forced to say yes or no, and the computer might be saying no, but they get to override it, they don't want to take the risk. And there's where we come in. And what I did is I structured the loans, but the key to the success in this whole ordeal, and I told both buyers this, was them. Because without them getting me exactly what I needed as fast as I needed it, there's no way those close. No chance. Did I bug the crap out of them for documents? Oh yeah. Did I ask them for things the other lender didn't ask for? Oh yeah. I get that one a lot. But guess what? Both clear to close, both closing Thursday.
Yeah, good job, Todd. One of my favorite things is when someone's been declined by a lender and then we try to save it for the agent. And they're not all savable, I might add. And then we ask for documents that the other lender didn't ask for. And the people are like, well, XYZ lender didn't need that. And I go, you mean the lender that turned you down?
Yes.
So you have to kind of bite your lip a little bit. What's the goal here? The goal is to have success. If this is the path, let's follow the path if we're going to make this happen. But what that sounded like to me, Todd, is at least 3 transactions with Southland agents that we're now getting paid that we weren't. Because one of those deals was Southlanders on both sides, right? Yeah, that's good stuff. I like that.
Great.
Thanks for helping make our month.
Oh, sweet.
Like my
Love
said,
that.
They're not all salvageable. There are situations that don't work, but for the most part, we can look at it through a different set of eyes, different angle, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, love it. Awesome. Did I see pillar to post here? Ron? Yeah, there you are.
For Ron, I haven't seen Ron in a while.
Not dressed up for that.
Looks like you can hit some golf balls maybe later, right?
No, I doubt it.
Oh,
So we try to be as thorough as possible in the inspections, and I'm sure you want us to be very thorough as well for your client, but we've been running into a little bit of a rash of cars parked in the garage under the attic access space, or closets just packed to the gills where we can't get in the attic space, or cabinets and drawers and beds in front of the electrical box. So it may pay just to mention to the selling agent that, hey, have your sellers kind of clear these spaces out, because Jordan can't get enough of getting in attics these days because it's so hot up there. But if we can't get to it, we can't access it. So just something to think about so we can find all those little spots and get everything checked out. Okay,
Good job.
thank you.
Yeah, guys, if your buyer's doing inspections, just call the agent and remind them, hey, please remind your seller to give us access. The seller not only needs to clear a path, if the seller wants to lift the little access panel and move it over and let all the stuff fall down in the closet, just like the inspectors sometimes accidentally do, let them do that, right? So just best practice there.
Right, right, because inspectors aren't allowed to really move stuff, right? Right, so, okay, good reminder there. All right, we got Royal Roofing, JW?
Where's JW?
I thought I saw
He
him.
bolted.
He was here, tell me I saw him, I'm not crazy. All right, well, maybe he'll circle back. Apex, Underground, Rustlin and Raylan.
There they are.
Just a quick story. So one said septic company came in and did a diagnosis with a scope. And they said, hey, I think your septic tank is decommissioned or collapsed or something. We can't figure it out. Like we're hitting a dead spot. So then the agent rushes around trying to figure everything out. We call the county. They're supposed to be hooked up to the sewer. And he's like, well, the septic company said we're not hooked up to the sewer. It's definitely going to a septic tank. So we go out there to diagnose the situation and see what we can do to help. Well, the diagnosis is completely wrong. It's because it's hooked up to a E1 grinder pump. And what those are is a low pressure system. It looks like a green riser lid sitting out there, and they go about 9 foot or more in depth into the ground. Well, what was the problem is that 4-inch line goes out to this E1 grinder pump, and there's nowhere for it to go. And then it hooks into the sewer on a 2-inch line on the other side to the city main. So the point of telling you that is, if everyone would just stop and just read, it says E1 grinder pump. And the electrical was missing all the way to the house. So just things that we learn when we're on site, and things that you guys can look for. And that way, if somebody's saying some things like that, then you are going to be the smartest person in the room.
Thank you, guys.
Good. Because of you, Rusty, I know we are the most educated agents on all things septic. Thank you.
Yeah, and by the way, the deal you just did for me, I don't give you deals with just one line break. I give you deals with 2 line breaks, right? She calls me, she goes, good news, bad news. Good news is we found the break, we can fix it. Good news also, it was caused by somebody breaking into the line, so you'll get reimbursed most likely. Bad news, you have a second break. And so then when they dug that up, they go, well, good news. That was also broken most likely by the intrusion of a utility. Who was it? Fiber.
That being said,
Yeah.
if anybody has properties in Garrisonville, please be aware they are putting 2 different fiber optic cables throughout the entire city. So they will have the entire city torn up over the next 2 years for that.
Yeah.
Wow. And what the board, they come in, they have the board pits and they go in, they don't know what height these mains are at. So they have a destination and they're gonna go get them. And I guess the money outweighs
Yeah, because these fiber optic companies, basically, when you show them the picture and everything, they cut a check,
Yeah.
right? About $3,500 a pop or something.
that board head, the pressure on it broke underneath and caused the pipe to pop like this. So there's a big chunk of clay sitting on both sides of that too. So, yeah, interesting. They're keeping that from business.
Yeah, yeah,
Keep on operating.
right. More fiber, right? More fiber.
All right.
Great, like on down from the, lost internet. I don't have that internet. But, it came through and it runs on my front fence, like it sways 6 feet over 50 yards and, up and down. And I'm going, how can that be? That's 18 inches. And so they just bore it and it does hits and moves, and it's wild that it can be, that deep over there and over there, and you're just responsible for it. You hit it.
Yeah, it's your service line, so you're responsible for it, but if we can prove otherwise, get pictures, then you're absolutely most likely to get reimbursed.
Nice. Good to know.
We took one out 2 weeks ago, so.
Yeah.
Wait, ran right there.
Oh.
They didn't market, they're responsible, but yeah, it's crazy.
It's happening a lot.
Fun stuff.
Yep.
All right. Royal still not here? Okay. Matt Davidson, come on
Matt's
up.
here. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Insurance, all right.
Yay.
Maybe
I
some
would-
life insurance.
I
Talk
would-
about
I
dying.
would
That's
love to
fantastic.
see you start that chainsaw.
Okay.
Where's the push start button? I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
right.
Um,
Got a remote control?
yeah, how's this thing work?
Mhm.
All right, so quick, yeah, it's been a while since I've been here. I see some new faces in here. My name is Matt Davidson, State Farm agent, right down here at the end of the building. I know most of you. I guess real quick, does anybody have any questions on insurance for me before I kind of jump in?
Go.
Everybody loves insurance. Okay, so quick kind of trends that we're seeing in the market right now. First of all, I will talk about life insurance, Lonnie. Got a call this morning, 24-year-old gentleman that we insure passed away unexpectedly last night. You know, we all think we're, 10 foot tall and invincible sometimes, and we're going to wait on that life insurance, or we're going to depend on we have it at work. You guys are all independent contractors. Unless you have a job somewhere else, you don't have it at work. And so it is unbelievably expensive, and you're never going to be younger than you are right now. And most likely you're not going to be healthier than you are right now. And so quit waiting. I would just say quit waiting on it. Trends on insurance. So everybody's insurance has gone up significantly since COVID, right? I mean, it's just happened. Auto insurance has gone up on average 52% across the industry since 2021. Homeowners insurance is going up because we're seeing an increase in severe convective storms causing damaging wind and hail. And now we're seeing a huge increase in our liability, litigation, liability umbrella policies, things like that. Here's a stat for you. Many of you have insurance with me. A lot of you have what we call personal liability umbrella policies. Everybody knows what that is, right? It adds an additional, $1 million, $2 million, $5 million of liability on top of your assets to protect your assets and your income from a lawsuit, right? Turn on the news in the morning. You see Mike DePasquale, Edelman and Thompson, Brown and Crouppen, Jungle Law. I mean, the list goes on and on for these folks, right? And so in 2024, on personal liability umbrella policies in the state of Missouri, for every dollar we took in, we paid out $2.77. We can withstand that kind of loss in the short term, but that's not sustainable for long-term success. And so we're seeing an increase in those policies, a significant increase in those policies, by the way. Now, what I would say is, yeah, it might be going from $30 a month to $60 a month, but I still say that's the best $60 a month that you spend in regards to your property and casualty to protect $1 million or $2 million of your assets. I mean, think about it. You spend $115 a month to protect your $10,000 car. Why wouldn't you spend $60 a month to protect $1 million or $2 million of your assets? Yeah, it might have gone up 100%, but it's still a good deal. And so we're seeing an increase in those. Homeowners insurance, what we're seeing is we're seeing a trend of higher deductibles, right? And so at State Farm, all of our wind hail deductibles for homeowners insurance are going to 1% as your house renews. So if you have if your house is insured for $500,000, you've got a 0.5% deductible. Your deductible has been $2,500 for any peril, right? That is changing as your house renews over the next year. You are going to a 1% wind hail. You keep your 0.5% for everything else, but you're going to a 1% wind hail. I will tell you that almost all of our competitors have already done that. We're kind of late to the ballgame on this, but it is a trend that we're seeing. And what I would say to that is, if you have a $2,500 deductible and you call me tomorrow and you have a $3,500 loss, what I'm going to tell you is you can file that claim and we'll pay you $1,000. But I wouldn't file a homeowner's insurance claim for $1,000. Would you? Most people wouldn't, right? I mean, because you're going to lose a claim-free discount, right? And you might lose that claim-free discount for 3 years. Now you're at an even standing and you got a claim on your file. And so homeowners insurance is intended to be catastrophic coverage. And so if you increase your deductible, then your rate goes down and you save money on an annual basis. And so on homeowners insurance, that's what we're seeing. Liability insurance, that's what we're seeing. Auto insurance, we're starting to see a leveling off. So that 52% increase on average since 2021, we're starting to see that level off a little bit. Comprehensive and collision coverage is going down, liability coverage is going up, and we're seeing an average rate decrease right now of about 4% on our car insurance. Some people go down 15%, some people don't go down at all, but we're seeing on average a leveling off of the car insurance side of things. And so there's a quick I don't know how long that was, trends of the insurance marketplace. Anybody have any questions on any of that?
Let's talk about the four-letter word, roof.
Okay.
15 years. What do we do?
If someone comes into our office with a 15 to 20-year-old roof these days, it is going to be very difficult for us to place insurance on that home. And here's why. State Farm is still replacement cost, 100% replacement cost on roofs. And so I wish Royal was here. They could explain it maybe a little bit better, but does everybody know the difference between a replacement cost and actual cash value? I see yeses. I see
Does
a bunch
anybody
of-
not know?
Does anybody not
Okay,
know
we
what that
don't.
is? Okay, so let's say you have a $20,000 roof, okay? And that roof is 15 years old, right? Well, if you have a replacement cost policy with a $5,000 deductible, we're going to pay you $20,000 minus your $5,000 deductible. You're going to receive $15,000 to replace that roof, right? That is a replacement cost policy. On an actual cash value policy, think about depreciation. Okay, so on an actual cash value policy on that $20,000 roof, it's 15 years old, the insurance company gets it. They say, oh, this roof is 15 years old. We're going to depreciate this out 75% because it's a 20-year roof, right? And so now they're going to take that $20,000, they're going to depreciate that out 75%. So you get $5,000. Well, guess what? You still got a deductible. You get zero with your $5,000 deductible. Right? Does that make sense? So on a replacement cost policy, you're getting $15,000 for that 15-year-old roof. On an actual cash value policy, you're getting zero for that 15-year-old roof. That is a huge difference. We are replacement cost. Most of our competitors have gone to actual cash value or depreciated roof schedule once the roof reaches 10 years of age. Okay. And so because we are still replacement cost on a 15 to 20-year-old roof, why would State Farm take on that risk knowing that the roof probably needs to be replaced anyways, and we're going to pay $15,000 for that roof at the slightest little hail that comes through? Probably not going to happen. And so for you guys, talking to your sellers and your buyers, right? I mean, talking to your buyers about, hey, this roof is 20 years old, you need to prepare that you may have to replace this roof. Right? And talking to your sellers about the possibility about having to give a concession for the roof if their buyer can't get their insurance company to insure that roof. Sure, you guys have these happen all the time right now. I mean, it is, you're seeing it across the entire industry. It's not just State Farm. It is a lot more difficult to get these older roofs replaced or insured. I'm sorry. We do not. Nope. There is no way for us to have a roof waiver on our current policy. I'm sure people are looking into that, right? I mean, there has been a reckoning coming on the roofing side of things when it comes to insurance for the last probably couple of years. And we're starting to see a lot of replacement cost or a lot of actual cash value, companies moving to actual cash value, higher deductibles. Some companies are excluding cosmetic damage on soft metals, right? You can get on every single roof in the state of Missouri right now, and you're going to find dents in every aluminum roof vent, gutters, valley metals, edges, things like that. Those soft metals are not constructed to withstand hail damage like asphalt shingles are. The other thing about shingles is we're also seeing a movement towards what we call impact resistant shingles. And so if you have to get a roof replaced and you replace your roof with a class 3 or class 4 impact resistant roof, you save 20% on your homeowner's insurance. So there's multiple benefits to that. Number one, you save 20% on homeowner's insurance. Number two, if a hailstorm comes through and it's got 1-inch hail and your neighbor has to get a new roof because it's 20 years old and it's not an impact resistant roof, you don't have to file a claim and pay your deductible and get a new roof. And number three, the insurance company looks very favorably on you if you have an impact resistant roof. And so a lot of different trends coming on the roofing side of things. All companies have tightened up, for a long time. And I'm sure that Royal could attest to this. For a long time, we've been an open checkbook for roofing companies, and we've paid for roofs that we shouldn't have. A lot of people treated insurance policies as a maintenance policy. Oh, my roof's 20 years old. I'm going to go file a claim and get a new roof from the insurance company. That's not happening anymore, right? And so all companies have kind of gone to this, and you have to have the significant amount of hail damage on your roof to get it replaced.
Good job.
Any other
Good stuff,
questions?
Matt.
Thank you.
Guys, just,
Not a question, but I will just say for anybody that haven't worked with, Matt or his office, we have, life insurance, vehicle insurance, home insurance, and business insurance all through his office, and they are wonderful.
good team. Yeah.
So easy to work with,
Awesome.
very, very.
Thank you, Christy. That was good.
Very good. Thank you.
So guys, just, where Matt's going with this, if we're selling houses, we're working with buyers and they're looking at 3 houses and one of them has a 15-year-old roof or older, no, that one could be a little bit hairy. Okay. I see you guys post stuff like, hey, these people are buying a house that has a 17-year-old roof, call this guy for insurance. Just what Matt said is true. Be sure you're comparing apples with apples because most of consumers don't have any idea what he just talked about, replacement cost versus actual cash value. That's the main differential in this. That's night and day. The example he just gave is an insurance company cutting a check for 15 grand versus another company saying you get nothing. Okay. So there's a huge difference out there. If we're going to sell these houses with these older roofs, we're going to have to think, we're going to have to be quick on our feet on the buyer side and the seller side. I just took 2 listings. Both roofs are exactly 15 years old. So we're already having the roof looked at and trying to think of what we might have to do to get the sales through. That's
All
it.
right.
Sorry, we covered
Yeah.
a lot there.
What if you, I have a buyer that have a contract on the house and nobody knows the age of the roof. So we just have a regular inspection set up, but there's, I don't know, it's in a trust and just no one's been able to trace that. So are we just gonna, should we have a separate roof inspection? It's an older place.
Mhm.
I'm guessing the roof has not been replaced. I don't know, but
So Matt, what do you do when you get a request to insure a new house or somebody bought a house new to you? We don't know how old the roof is.
So, I mean, I would certainly have a local trusted roofing company that you know and trust come out and do a roofing inspection. Pillar to post, I don't know if they're still here, I mean, they're great, but they may not have the experience of looking at a roof to tell us, approximately how old this roof is, or, is there damage on this roof or something like that. There's nothing that we have that can tell us,
Right.
I mean, if you say, I don't know, it's probably about 15 years old, I mean, that's what we're gonna put in, right?
Gotcha.
There's no way to, if nobody has any information about the age of the roof, there's no way to actually go back and find it without having a receipt or talking to the owner, which you may not be able to do if it's in a trust, obviously, and so, I would just, Royal Roof, I mean, whoever your preferred local roofing contractor is who I would have come out and look at that and give you a guesstimate of how old that is.
Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff today. Yes, we're doing this. All right. Listings, buyers, and open houses. Who's got, let's, it is 10:30, so I want to be mindful. Yes, you got some, what do you got? Listing?
Yes, we have a listing in Adrian. Cannot think of the first part, but Northeast County Road 353 in Adrian. It's 6 acres, 4-bed, 2-bath, built in 2021 slab home. It's our home builder. He did a great job with it. 40 by 40 shop with 3 garage bays and a 10 by 30, is that right? Office in there with a bathroom. A pool and a pool house, super pool house, $595.
$595.
Yeah, the house has 3 garages on it with a pool through in one of them.
Is it on the market now or?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep. Been on
already on the market.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
Cool.
and another one. So sorry. In Harrisonville on 403 Ann Avenue, our home builder is remodeling it right now. 265, 3-bed, 2-bath on a full basement. He would finish the basement out if you guys wanted to, but it would need to be done like now.
gotcha.
So there's
Harrisonville,
Yeah.
265.
that too. Mhm.
All right, nice. Rusty.
Property I've probably talked about a few times. Got 5 acres, it's got 4 beds, 3 full baths. It's got a 20 by 60 outbuilding, it's insulated, it's got concrete in there, electricity, all the things. Beautiful property, we just need to sell it. Yeah.
Very good. Yes, yes. Any other listings you want to tell us about?
We're going back on market, little entry level house on Belton, the one with the broken sewer line, broke twice. So that thing went multiple offers first day, and then of course didn't get through inspections with a broken sewer line. Also had some termites, things like that. So we'll go back on market tomorrow. It'll probably go multiple offers again. It's 235. The house is clean as it can be. It's not perfect, but show me the perfect one at 235 and I'll go buy that one. but it's clean as it can be in Belton. So 3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
332 in Belton. Shelby.
Instead of separate, and then I've got a commercial building over in Independence, that we Jackson County raised the taxes so much, and she finally got an appraisal, cause I told her, I think you need an appraisal on this to come to a real number, and they said 365, so it's right off 39th and Nolan, anybody has buyers over there.
Awesome. Thank you. Any other listings we need to know about? Yep. Stacy.
Bedroom, 5 bath, Valley, sort of south of like that. 660, and she's offering 10,000 at closing towards painting the kitchen. It's really honestly in great shape. It's a beautiful home. But if anybody wants to do a little bit of updating, she's offering that.
Okay.
It's my cousin.
Yeah.
And my first listing, so. So
Yes. Yes.
It'll sell.
Absolutely. Trisha. That's it. That's it. 4-3 Raymore in a few weeks.
Like a little tease. I like that.
Suspense.
4-3. Not going to know the price or location, but I got one coming. Yeah. How many garages, Rustlin? Find out how many garages.
That's right.
That's true.
That's right.
That's true.
Okay. Yes.
So the house that's 400 Appaloosa, right there on 58, we took it off the market. It'll be coming back on the market here pretty soon. 499 is 4 bedroom. They took it off the market so they could fix the air conditioning problem. The upstairs was really warm. So they made a lot of changes so that now the upstairs is cool, so there's no problem there. Great house, all remodeled, almost an acre right here.
Mhm.
Off of 58.
Nice. Okay.
I just got a text that HOA covers the roof on that house I just asked about. So,
Really?
Yeah, it's maintenance provided. So I was like,
Okay.
oh,
There you go.
Okay.
What?
covering the roof. He said, what?
They cover the exterior.
The maintenance provided.
You just need contents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any other listings you want to talk about?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Buyer needs. Anything that you need for a buyer that we're not finding? Shelby.
So, we went on some, super easy access, not a lot of stairs.
Gotcha.
On acreage or
Nope, it can be in the city.
what price range? Okay, that's reach.
Doesn't matter if I know it. Wide doors.
Got it. Okay. Other buyer needs. Yep.
Under 250 in Raymore, Belleville, Cass County, then there's a ranch on a slab and they're hard to find.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right. Any open houses we want to know about? I'm still doing some of those sometimes.
I canceled one due to water in the basement. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
sorry.
All right, let's move on. Good job. If you do have something that you thought about, put it in the Facebook group and let us know. All right, looks like we got health, wellness, and safety with Rusty and Trisha. Come on up, ladies. Tell us what you got today. You brought us something.
Uh-oh. Had a blowout.
Good Lord.
Don't hurt yourself.
You want to flip us to the next slide?
Absolutely.
Okay, so at family reunion, one of the big topics was water, drinking enough water by the time you, or before you have your coffee and all the benefits of that. So we thought we would bring a water challenge to you because many of us are dehydrated. Drinking water before your coffee is one way to make sure that your brain is properly hydrated. Studies have linked to hydration to, can't see that, improve mood and reduce feelings of anxiety, which helps you enjoy your coffee even more later on that day. It can also help you feel more focused and think more clearly, which if you guys are like me, I need to be focused and thinking clearly. Next slide, please. So Trisha's brought in everybody, what?
Sorry. The black cooler has bottled water in it. I will say I brought it in yesterday and put ice on it, and I think someone snooped around and left the lid up. So the ice melted and it's not as cold as it was. But I also brought little flavored things. So if you're one of those that just struggles with your water, feel free to flavor it today.
We will pass around a piece of paper of some sort. You're just gonna do like we did with the step challenge. You're gonna put your name, first and last name, and your email address and your phone number, and then I will text you guys. Everyone has a different requirement. Some of our bodies can obtain and hold the water, well, based on your cells and what your body is able to absorb. So one person might need more water than the other person. So you can look up some of those stats. Sorry, I'm talking. Somebody wants to see a house and I'm busy right now. Hold on. So basically, moral of the story is you're going to commit to drinking a certain number ounces of water a day, or whatever your goal is for the week. So that's what I want you guys to think about. And you're going to drink it through the day, other than just all at once. You don't want to get too much in your system. Just kind of sparse it out through the day. You can do drinking 8 glasses of 8 ounces of water, again, depending on what type of, challenge you're setting up for yourself. But the main goal is to focus on just drinking more water. And I promise you, I did this over the last few months, drinking that full, I do 16 ounces of water prior to my coffee. And I was noticing that my skin is super dry and all the things I've been dealing with this. But I've noticed a huge difference on my uptake of water, and also adding good minerals to your water is another key. So it's hot as heck outside right now. So August, that's what our little challenge is going to be. Yeah.
What a cool idea. Yeah, I like that. Hey, Rustlin, I'm asking for a friend. If there's Jack Daniels in it, does it still count? Oh,
No. Make sure you grab a bottle of water on your way out.
that's so
So
cool.
thanks, ladies.
Yeah.
Here's our calendar for the rest of the month. We're here at the last of July already. I cannot even believe it, but here we go. Let's see. Capper Connect is tomorrow. So if you are a current capper, you have already been talked to about this. This is by invite only. Tomorrow over there, just head for the bank in the conference room. And if you're not a capper yet, just let's get you there, and then you'll be invited to the next one. So that's tomorrow. Now we got Darren Jones, our brave broker here.
Brave.
I'll be brief. So just a couple of things. If a buyer asks you, how much should I offer for this house? Don't give them a number. You don't want to be the reason they don't get the house. So I had this last week. Need water, I guess. Or Jack Daniels.
Rustlin.
I had someone ask me on a property and I said, it comps out. I think the value's there. You do what you want. And I told him exactly that. I don't want to be the reason you don't get the house. So of course he wanted to make a super duper low offer and it just totally got rejected. The seller wouldn't even talk to us. And I told the buyer, I said, that's pretty low. I said, when you make an offer, there's two things. There's a line in the sand that every seller has. There's one where they're going to be upset and offended by your offer and they're not going to counteroffer. There's the other side of the line where they'll at least talk to you. They'll at least give you a counteroffer. So we were on the wrong side of that line. Lo and behold, another offer comes in, and that's what I always tell buyers, it doesn't matter. You could even offer full price, but if something else comes in, the seller's expectations just went up. So we're still in the game, but I don't think we're going to get it. I don't think the seller takes my buyer seriously. That was his choice, not mine. The other thing is we're getting accepted contingencies. So if you're going to do a soft contingency, you still got to list your buyer's house. You got to get it under contract, but maybe you don't want your buyer to pay for inspections until their house gets under contract. You need to write that in your offer, page 2, section 1D, under additional inclusions or additional terms and conditions. Don't get lost in the busyness of it and forget to have your buyer do inspections if you don't write that in there. Otherwise, you're out of the inspection period. then your buyer gets under contract and you can't do inspections. You're screwed, basically. So try to remember that. I think it should be on the contingency form that we can put that in there, but it's not. So put it in page 2 on the original offer.
Good job, Darren.
Thank you, Darren.
Let's, best practice, let's talk about this real quick. So soft contingency means Ryan's bringing me an offer. His people are going to list their house with Ryan. They don't have a contract on it yet, so it's subject to finding a buyer and closing, right? We call that soft contingency here at Southland. So if Ryan's offer has that in there, there's an expectation that he has an inspection. There is an inspection period. If he does not inspect, he basically no longer has an inspection period. So if his people don't want to do an inspection until they find out if their house is going to sell, then he's got to write that in there. And I will tell you, as a listing agent, I'm never taking one of those. So don't bring me one of those. We're not going to do it. If you're asking me to take a soft contingency, and I'm going to talk about this in more detail in a second, then you're going to go ahead and do inspections because we're going to find, and as a buyer, I would want to know, because if I'm Ryan's buyer, I want to go ahead and spend $500, $600 to check that house out while I'm Mickey Mousing around trying to find a buyer for mine. Otherwise, you could be in a bind. You finally find your buyer. Now the inspection period starts, and then the house doesn't check out very well. You sold your house. You know, now you're not sure you want mine. Now you're between a rock and a hard place. You guys get that? Yeah. Yeah. About, yeah.
We're glad you would accept this soft contingency. Awesome. We're expecting tomorrow.
You bet. Love it. Love it.
Valid.
Think about that, guys. Contingencies, we're seeing more and more of that as the market's kind of leveled off a little bit. And I think that's here to stay for a bit. And we're just going to have to understand the inner workings. I'll go through some more bullet points on that later.
Awesome. Very good. Thank you, Darren. All right. I've just got some more slides here. Like, is anybody, the bingo, you forgot? You forgot. Well, look there, you might have done some of these things. This is the last week of July. So when you are done with this, turn in your bingo card to me. Hopefully you got a bingo. Maybe you got a blackout, Laura. And let me know and we'll celebrate next week with what we find out. So that's still going on. We have, this is Caesar. Oh, hey, come on up. Yeah, I didn't see you back there. Come on up. You're missing out on his classes. You're missing out, guys.
All right, it's really simple. Everybody use a flow code page, the flow page. The flow page with all the links. I want to show you in 1 hour how to do that with your own KW website. And I promise you, no one in the nation is doing that with their KW website. And basically what that means is you can point all of your business, all of your clients, all of your friends, all of your relatives, whatever you want to put on there, you can make your own KW website, a one-stop shop with all of your links, all of your documents, all of your downloadables. It's very heavy. I'm going to do it in 1 hour. You'll probably have to refer to the video, but I promise you, no one has that. And one of the biggest things that I'll leave you with is that explodes your Google rankings, which is what everybody pays big money to get, which basically means anybody does a search, great realtor in Cass County, you will come up because nobody does what I'm telling you. The only people that do are people, I knew one agent that paid $13,000 for their website. And I'm going to show you how to do it in KW. It's already part of your tools. So that's coming right up.
Good job, Caesar. I like that.
Hey, don't go anywhere. Hold on. Hold on. Yes, Laura.
This is his class or Tim's class. You guys are missing out. I'm learning a lot.
Well, hey, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Guys, I don't know. We don't understand what a valuable asset, a resource we have right here with him. His tech mind and his tech brain, unfortunately, or fortunately, but he's not able to do just tech full time here. He has another job called the MCA. That's what he's doing, making sure we all get paid, right? So whenever he does teach a class, you should probably jump in on that, because if you hit him later and go, hey, I missed that class, can you teach me? Nope. The answer is nope. Sorry, his time is very valuable and limited. So when you does teach and you want to learn something about that, you should probably, it may be a once and done thing. So simply because of resources. Yeah. And if you can't make it, catch the video. We record this. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate you doing that.
Thanks, Caesar. Good job.
And he's serious. He just figured out how to hack the website It's not like, what's his name with the 66, Marty with the 66-day challenge. He didn't teach that. Caesar figured this out. And like you said, no one else is doing that. So that's next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow. All right. We also, Realtor Day at the K is coming up on September 5th. And we thought we'd want to do this. So we decided that if you want to be a part of Realtor Day at the K, this is from KCRAR. So it's all the realtors in the area are invited. But Lacey is collecting money at the front desk, $33 per person. There's a tailgate at 4. The game's at 6:40. We'd love to have you join us. See Lacey, she's taken the lead on this one to collect the money and buy the tickets. So I don't know what kind of deadline. I don't know. Let's just go have fun at the game together. September should be pretty, I don't know, it could be hot, could be cool, could be nice. We don't know. We'll see. And then upcoming masterminds, we got Sandy leading this week and then Tim leading next week. So if you're not on that sold mastermind call on Thursdays, you're missing out there too. That's a wonderful thing that our office does. And we do it every week. And our ALC takes turns leading that call, but it's the place where you can bring your questions. You can get, where else can you go get, bring a question and have about 20 to 30 agents mastermind with you on that. So pretty cool. All right, Mr. Lonnie.
Okay, lots of stuff, guys. So please bear with me. Last week, we talked about risk and liability. Just for those of you that weren't here, just be very, very careful with everything you do. I'll reiterate that more and more. If you're using any photography, any videos, I don't care where you got it, you better know that you have the ability to use it, okay? Again, the lawsuit I'm going through personally on this, it's all going to work out just fine. Thankfully, I have insurance and all that kind of stuff, but deductibles and all that are real. And we basically did nothing wrong. So just be really careful. Don't even take a chance. If you don't know where this came from, do not use it. You guys good with that? That's the Southland policy going forward. Because every time we get into one of these dust ups, and there's more coming, I think we're gonna see that these deductibles on our E&O and all that are significant. Okay, so we're gonna have to really, really think differently on those sorts of things. Hey, on a negative note, just so you guys know, Carrie O'Connor and Victoria lost their mother last night. That's why Tom and Carrie are not here. So if you have an opportunity to send them a text, I think that'd be a great thing to do today.
And that is Victoria Landavery's mother as well.
Yes. Carrie and Victoria's mother passed. So if you guys have an opportunity to drop them a text, I know they would appreciate it because, as you know, they participate in everything. They're normally here. And,
they would normally be here.
Yeah, by all means. Okay, let's talk real quick about two things. I'm going to circle back to Matt's comments just for a second. When these roofs are older, let's just say 15 years and older, we're going to run into a couple things. Insurance companies won't insure it. That will come up. There's going to be insurance companies just setting that rule. That's okay. Or what's most common is we're going to see companies doing limited coverage. That's where instead of replacement costs, they're going to offer the JV, which is what is actual cash value. You guys get that? Nothing against actual cash value. But here's what happens. I see you guys post all the time and it's like, hey, this insurance company won't do it, but this guy will. That guy's doing it under that actual cash value arrangement in many, many, many cases. You guys get that? Or here's what's also happening. They're putting limitations, like they will cover the roof with some exclusions. In other words, at a maximum exposure of X. I saw one company putting that out there. So be really careful when your people are like, hey man, I got this great quote on insurance. Have them look under the hood on those things, okay? We're not supposed to be professionals in that arena, but when it comes to roofs and everything, we need to at least have a general idea of what the consumer is up against. You guys get that? So when we're taking listings, if we know the roof is in that 15-year-old or older category, I highly recommend having a great roofer go ahead and get up on the roof and take a look at it and see what we got. It could be a situation where it does have storm damage, hail damage, and all that. We might be able to file a claim. That's possible, but let's find out what we have, okay? I had the roofer go up on 2 of mine, and one of them, he goes, I don't think this is even 15 years old. Turns out it was 10 years old. They were wrong, okay? So we're gonna be fine. The other one's 15 years old and actually showing quite a bit of age. So I'm immediately working with the seller going, hey, I'm gonna carve out about $11,000 because I think that we may end up having to replace the roof to make a deal go through, okay? So you guys get that? If we don't head these things off early on, it's going to be a hot mess express during the time of inspections, okay? I would just as soon start the conversation with the buyer's agent, definitely have the conversation with the seller so you're not hitting them with some big surprise. On my estimate of proceeds, I even took $11,000 off their proceeds in potential roof concession. You guys get that? If it's not needed for any reason, or maybe we can split it 50-50, or who knows what we'll do, great. But I want to be able to go back and show the seller what we talked about. You guys get that? Best practice. We're going to have to start doing those things. Okay. Anybody have anything to add to that? Better way to do it? By the way, if you guys have a better way to do it, I'd love to hear it because I'm always trying to learn. Contingency. Back to contingency, the situation we just gave. Ryan sends me an offer. It's a soft contingency. Ryan's like, hey man, they have a house here in Bel Ray. That thing should sell in 30 days or less. Here's our offer. We're going to inspect yours, Branson. We'll check it out. So the things that I might consider in a soft contingency. Here's what you got to know on the seller side. If you're going to accept that, as good as it looks with Ryan's people, that better be the person that closes on the house. You have to have that mindset, because what's going to happen the second I accept his contract? Anybody know?
No more showings.
No more showings. It's going to go in the MLS under contingent. You guys see that? If you're searching for a buyer, how many people show contingent listings? Most of you don't. I'll just tell you that right now. So I have to trust that Ryan's people are going to get their house in Bel Ray sold, because I'm going to sit there for, in this case, maybe 30 days and know I'm not going to have probably any showings. Okay. So I'm dancing with that guy. I got to trust him. I have to trust that house. I have to trust how it's priced. And I need to do all that research before I say yes or no to that contingency. So when an agent brings me one of these, the first thing I ask is go ahead and send me all the information on the front end deal. In other words, the Bel Ray house in this case. I want to see the comps. I want to know what they're going to list it at. If Ryan has any pictures, it would be advisable to share all that if he's trying to get me to buy in on that. You guys get that? That's your dance partner. And you better know that going in. Now, in theory, the house could be shown by Rustlin. She comes in and says, hey, it looks like there's a contingency on it, but our people love it. We're going to write you an offer. And then if we accept it, we'll issue a kickout notice to Ryan, which gives him a period of time to perform or walk away from the deal. That just happens so infrequently. How many of you guys have ever even done a kickout? Yeah. There's 3 or 4 people in the entire room. It's rare. It's really rare. So that you must get into those situations. And what's happening is sellers' houses are sitting on the market longer and longer now. So in the past, we might not have taken a soft contingency, but now we just want something. It's just kind of the mindset of people right now. So we get jammed up for 30 days in a contingency that had a low probability of ever performing. Okay, that's 30 dead days, and that seller is not going to be very pleased with you. So you have to explain to that seller, hey, with Ryan's offer, I want you to know this. I've researched it. They're going to list their house in Bel Ray at $305. That's exactly what it's worth. Houses like that are selling in, on average, about 3 weeks. Ryan's a good agent, knows what he's doing. He'll advise the people properly. I think it's one we want to consider. Does that make sense? So that's how you have to look at these. If it looks a little sketchy, we got jammed up with one in Harrisonville where the people had a house in St. Louis, all this kind of stuff. Now, I researched the heck out of it. My people, they own it free and clear, no big deal. They're like, yeah, let's do that. This sounds like a win for us. The price was ideal, so we went ahead and bid for 30 days. It did not work. They did not get their house in St. Louis. Now, today's the last day of that contingency. We got to make a decision to renew for however long we negotiate, or let them go and go back on the market. We're going to let them go and go back on the market, because guess how many showings we had in contingent status over the last 30 days? We had 1, and it was because we showed it. So it doesn't happen. That was my dance partner, and it didn't work out. You guys get that? Contingency is one of the most complicated and it can be the most stressful things that we can do in this business right now. Anybody have anything else to share along, Ryan? Yeah.
30 days, you want to make a decision. Maybe we keep these guys or let them go. They're coming from St. Louis. Why are they coming to Kansas City? What's their motivation? Are they definitely going to do it, or they just think they want to come here because they like the
You bet.
I'm not playing good, so maybe we don't.
Yeah.
So,
Fair.
how do you determine whether or not you want to stay with them or not? Maybe you got this great price. You're not sure you can get that great price again. How do you weigh that out, or what would you do to make that a win still for your seller?
Yeah. Well, that's the tough part, is analyzing whether we want to get back into a contract with them. Now, just because we gave them 30 days the first time doesn't mean I have to give them 30 days again. So we could give them 10 more days and extend and show good faith there, and then see where we're at the end of 10 days. So generally speaking, I'm not going to give anybody 30 again. That's a really rare situation. But my lean is this, and here's what the conversation looks like to still create a win, is I'm going to go to Ryan, we're at that last day, and go, man, I'm sorry your people's house didn't contract. I think we're all surprised by that. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to want to release you and go back on the market, because we've been sitting there basically dead as a doornail while you guys were hoping to get your house sold. So we're back live as of tomorrow, but here's what my seller wants you guys to get their house. So please hustle, Ryan, and get a contract on theirs. And we're available we're right back here for you. You guys have inspected it. In most cases, in many cases, they've appraised it too. We really want you to get the house. So it's how you deliver that versus how I say, hey man, you guys suck. You didn't get it done. We're going back on the market. Here's your cancellation. Which way is the better way to approach that? Okay. Keep them motivated. Keep them motivated to sell their house, to reduce the price, to do those things. Because when my listing goes back on the market, it's not likely going to sell right away. So if Ryan does pop that front end deal, he could come right back and go, LB, we got a contract that looks firm. Here it is. Now will you go back to contract with us? We're going to do that. It's already been inspected. We're going to go back at the same terms, although we wouldn't have to. But yeah, usually you're going to go back at the same terms. You guys get that? Okay, contingency is really, well, again, I hate talking about it, but we're starting to see more and more here in the office, and I'm seeing the techniques and the conversations around it, and I'm not sure we're handling that very, very well with the seller especially. Yes?
And I ended up winning a deal just because of the relationship that in the past I had with this other agent. But I think that communication is key. And constantly checking in with that agent, letting them know the updates, what is my client doing to keep in good faith, keep it all moving forward. So.
Yeah, we had a vacant house in Braintree, and it was a villa. So the ladies moved out and all that stuff. We finally got an offer on it, contingent on a house in Texas, KW agent. And sure enough, they gave me the data for the subdivision. I could see the average days on market that showed me where they were going to price it. I knew everything when we accepted that deal. And it took about 3 weeks, but sure enough, every week they would give me an update on, are they getting showings? Are they getting offers? They made one price adjustment and then boom, it popped and they firmed up the deal. So it can work, but just guys, we gotta really think our way through this because our client is kind of in no man's land when you're sitting in that contingent status.
So I have a question. If you take a contingency and they're already under contract.
Different.
And maybe they're already even through with inspections.
Different.
What do you put on in the MLS? Contingency
No.
or just pending?
Contingency is only in MLS when it's a soft contingency. Because when it says contingent, that means there's a kick out provision. Okay, think of it that way. Okay, so in your case where they already have a contract on their house, there is no kick out provision. So it would either be under pending or it would be under show for backup status. Does that make sense?
So on the contingency form, there's a box 1 and a box 2. So when it's in box 2, that's where you just mark it pending.
It's box 2 where it's already under contract. I always get the two confused. Have to look at it. Yep.
Maybe if they had a good earnest money deposit, make that non-refundable.
Sure.
Would you consider doing something like
You bet.
that? To buy them more time, keep them intact, you're still in a contingent state, now you got a little bit of money in your pocket if you don't want to.
Yeah, there's an idea. So if Ryan's people say, man, they love it so much, they're willing to put some money on the line. So if you'll give us another 30 days, that $5,000 earnest deposit becomes non-refundable payable to the seller if we don't perform. Okay, that's a different conversation. Now I'm at least thinking about it. $5,000 probably, depending on the price range, might not be enough, but nonetheless, there are. I know Nathan's real good at negotiating different ways to try to keep people in the saddle like that. So, but generally speaking, I think what we're missing is when we take these contingencies, that listing is idle. Okay, it's unlikely going to get shown. Okay, very unlikely to get shown. Very unlikely you're going to present a kick out. You have to expect that who you got in business with will take you to the finish line. And if you don't, you didn't get into a very good deal.
Got a client that took first day on the market, took contingency, first day on the market, and it was like well above what they thought they would get.
Yep.
30-day contingency property located out of town. 30 days goes by, didn't sell, they renewed it. 30 days goes by, didn't sell. Their house sat on market for 8 months because it just got stale. Sat there, people didn't want to show it. Well, that's wrong. They finally sold it for $40,000 below when they took that original offer for 8 months later.
Yeah.
Frustrated seller.
So here's what happens. A guy's got a $400,000 house, right? I got it listed. We know we're going to sell it. Upper 3 is 400. Boom, boom, boom. First day on market, here comes Jenny with her soft contingency, but it's 420. Okay. And maybe an appraisal waiver. And all of a sudden my sellers are like, hey man, we talked about contingency. We don't want one of those, but for 20K, let's roll the dice. There you go. So that they duped us into it because of the possible money we could capture. Now, if they go above market on that to get you to bite on a contingency, you have to be very careful because then they go and appraise it and it doesn't appraise, it comes back down to that number anyway. So you really got a curve thrown at you. A lot of complexities, guys, with contingency. The more we can talk about it, the more we on these mastermind calls, we're talking about them like crazy. The more we can just go down these bunny trails, the more you will learn over time. It's a good way to learn on our call in our Tuesday meeting versus learn with a $400,000 listing. I'm telling you, that's a way better way to do it. And it is not a perfect system. I don't care who you are, how good you are, how long you've been doing it. You just make the best decision you can, and you give your client the best information to make that decision and let them make it. Okay. It is not a perfect system. I don't like the default of 30 days on the, I like to use a smaller period of time, especially if Ryan goes, hey, as soon as I put the sign in the yard in their house in Belton, it's going to pop first weekend. I'll go, cool. Let's just do a 7-day contingency. Okay. Now I'm going to make him do what he just said he's going to do. Knowing Ryan, he'll have it under contract in less than 7 days and we'll move forward. Right. You guys get that? All that's negotiable. All right. Let's flip to one more thing we've been talking about lately. As listings spend more time getting seasoned on the market, our stress meter goes up and up and up. Has anybody had any listings that have been on the market a little while? Just me? Yeah. Shelby? Yes, I know. So most of you guys, we talk about them. So with every day on the market, there's an implied amount of stress that just keeps kind of going up and up and up. So it's when you guys tell me your story of the listing and you're like, hey, Lonnie, will you look at the comps? Tell me if you think this house in Belton is priced where it should be. I'd love your opinion. And you guys send me stuff like that all the time. I enjoy it. I got a glass of wine. I can check it out and just give you my thoughts for whatever that might be worth. So I'm glad to do that. But here's what happens. And I wish Tom was here because he was so honest about this the other day, is he had like 10 or 12 showings and he goes, you know what? Only 2 of those people said it was overpriced. So I'm thinking we're okay, right, LB? You know, and I go, well, hold on. First of all, here's what the real world. Do not pay, almost don't pay any attention to their comments as it relates to price, okay? For a couple reasons. First, most agents showing it really don't know if it's priced right or not. They just know whether their people liked it or not. You guys get that? I'm not criticizing our industry, but at the end of the day, most agents really don't know, okay? A lot of times, number 2 reason is they just want to be polite. They don't want to say, hey, I think you got an overpriced house there. They seldom will do that. Now, some are a little more direct. I tend to be more on the direct side, but some of you guys are just sweet and you go, what a cute house. I'm sure it'll find its buyer, just not the right one for my people, okay? And you're also under your breath going, and I think it's $75,000 too high, okay? So just know that and let the seller know that when they are seeing those 10 different feedbacks and only 2 say it's priced high, we're really not paying close attention to that. What matters is you've had 10 people look at it and let's assume they're viable buyers and not one person's considered writing an offer, okay? All right, this is happening to all of us. Dalton and I are working on one right now. There's 20 of you guys in the same boat, myself included, by the way. So frequency of showings is causing you guys a massive amount of stress. Because you're like, you know, I listed the house, I got 2 showings the first weekend, and I haven't had anything in the last week or 10 days, and you're freaking out. So we got to have the conversation with the seller as to the expectations of the frequency of showings. And here's what I would suggest that you do. Now, we know a 250, 350 house is likely going to get a lot more traffic than a 750. Would you guys agree with that? For the most part. Okay, there's exceptions, but for the most part, that's going to be the case. Why is that? The pool of people buying a 350 house is this big. The people that qualify for 750 is this big. Okay, so just explain that to people. Smaller buyer pool, less people, less traffic, less everything. So then with the frequency of showings, here's what I say to sellers. I go, guys, here's what this is going to look like, especially the first 30 days. We will have weeks where you have no showings or 1 showing. And you'll be like, and the next week you might have 4. And you're going to think, oh, we got it all figured out. The next week we have 1. It's completely unpredictable, okay? I've tried to predict it with every way imaginable. And yes, weather and holidays and all that stuff can be a slight factor. But at the end of the day, just let them know the market is the market. We're exposing the house to the 13,000 agents and their clients in Kansas City. No one's missing their house. And when their number comes up, it will get shown more often than not. You guys get that? We just don't know when that's going to happen, okay? A lot of houses get that initial push. In that first week, they may get 3 or 4 looks. And the people are like, oh, man, that's rocks. The next week, they get 0 or 1, and they think you stink already. You guys get that? Not if you've already told them that's what that looks like, okay? Let them know. It's not uncommon for us to get that push, especially if you were in pre-MLS, which I advise for an extended period of time, because you've created some interest and some buildup, okay? Boom, then you wash through those first round of showings. Now we need new people. You guys get that? How do we explain that to the seller? How do we let them know what that looks like? We have to learn those conversations. Otherwise, being a listing agent, your life is miserable. Okay. Paul's got a good listing in Peculiar, big house. What's that subdivision called? Yeah. Yeah, that one, that one. That subdivision. Yeah, nice house. Paul, listing agent. So hey, he's medicated. Give him a break. All right. Yeah, it's really Sickle Bar or something like that, right? Yeah, Sickle Bar Street. So, but a house like that, you know, it's a big house, mid 400s Peculiar, not in a subdivision with a pool, that kind of stuff. So it's probably going to sell with a limited number of people going through it. And now that can be a good thing or a bad thing. I always tell the seller when I see that I have a listing coming that's likely going to have limited traffic, I let them know what a great thing that is. Like, well, how's that great, Branson? That sounds terrible. And I go, no, it's actually really good, because if you have a 350 house or a $300,000 house, you might have 6, 8, 10 showings a week. You can't even live in your house. It can be a nightmare. It can be stressful in a different way. When you have a unique property that gets limited foot traffic, usually those are buyers that are serious lookers and are looking for what you're bringing to the market, say Earth Contact, say unique houses, anything like that, unique locations. So how do we just present it in that light, and they'll look at it differently, I promise you. Do you want more showings? Or do you want higher quality? The people are going to say higher quality every single time. You guys get that? But we've got to master those conversations. And when you guys that don't, I see you rolling around the office and I hear you talking over the coffee pot and you're all stressed out about something, especially you guys are freaking out and you've been on the market 30 days. I'm like, you guys, the new norm is we need to be telling these people, with rare exception, our expectation for your house to sell is in that 60, 90, 120 day range. If it happens faster than that, we'll pat you on the back, not us. We're going to take some of the credit. But at the end of the day, it's because you have such a wonderful house. You guys get that? Then when you get to month 2 or 3, you can always refer back to that conversation. Or you can do what our agents are doing way too frequently, is they're looking at the comps and they're seeing houses that sold last spring that sold in 10, 20, 30 days. And they're telling the seller, hey, I think that's how yours will play out too. Really? End of the summer? And you're overpricing a little bit? Probably not. So buy yourself a crap load of time will make your life a lot easier. You guys get that? For some reason, in this market, we're stressing sooner than I've ever seen before. In other words, days on market can be 10 and you guys are already flipping out in some cases, okay? 10 is not flip out time, okay? Not at all, never, okay? So average days on market, what is it for the whole market? 40 something right now? Is it 47? Yeah. So in that 47 is also the ones that pop first day on market. So some of the stuff that's baked in there too. If we could pull that out, I bet it's closer to 60 to 70 days if you just pull out the day one on market type stuff, or the build jobs that get listed and go pending at the same time. That's all in that days on market too, guys. So keep all that in mind if you want to make your life a little bit easier. So we talked about frequency, how unpredictable it is, how 1 week it can be 0, the next week 4, and you've done nothing different, okay? Just let them know how much it can vary. Okay, so here's another price pro move on feedback. So Ryan's had 3 showings. His agents have given the feedback. If he's a professional, which I know he is, the feedback is, even if they do a good job with feedback, it's still pretty limited, right? So, but he sees that one of the agents is really, really sharp. He's going to call that agent and go, hey, I appreciate you show Bob Gresham or whoever. Thanks, Bob, for showing my listing. And I appreciate the feedback, but I just wanted to visit maybe in a little bit more detail with you. Hey, what do you think? You sell a lot of houses in this area. We're sitting there at 330 on this house. I know it wasn't the right fit for your people, but if you did have a buyer that it was a good fit for, what do you think? And then they'll give you so much more information than they will on that online form. The pros are doing that like crazy. I highly recommend doing that. I actually appreciate, I'm a pretty busy guy. When we show a house and the agent reaches out to me to get more details of my thoughts, they're really just picking our brain to know what we think of their listing. Share that information. You guys get that? And by the way, when you do that, if I'm the listing agent and I do that or Ryan does that, guess what? He needs to let his seller know he did that. Hey, you remember you had a showing from Bob Gresham Saturday and it looks like it was a little too small for them, all that. By the way, I had a good conversation with Bob. Bob's been in the business 30 years, one of the top agents in the county. Bob and I are friends, and I talked to him about the house. And here's some of his thoughts. And you just share it with your seller. That's going above and beyond. That's how you stay engaged with the seller. That's how you stay hired as days on market increase. You guys get that? Yeah.
Questions get on your feedback aren't that great.
Yeah.
So, but to me, the 3 questions I get, 2 of them are the same. And the one in the middle is about price. So
yeah.
you can change them.
You can customize it. Yeah. You can customize it.
No, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
But the ones they did. Yeah.
There's a generic generic, yeah, yeah. Sure.
That conversation, making that phone call to people.
Yeah.
To get more feedback is a great idea.
It's, you guys, and there, it's not like there's that many showings, okay? Especially if you have a listing that gets shown once or twice a week. How long does it take you to have a conversation with the agent that showed it? Okay, yes, you got to track them down and get them to return your call. That's a whole different story. But if Silas has a great listing and he knows it's gonna take months to sell this, and when it's getting shown, not only the people getting the generic feedback, but he also, they can go back to the seller and go, hey, by the way, I talked to Ryan Finn, who showed that house over the weekend, got even some more insight. Yes, we weren't a fit for his people, but Ryan sells a lot of houses, and here were some of his thoughts. He thinks we're priced great, just like you and I do. He just thinks that because of this feature, the fact that we're on a busy street with a little bit of noise, it likely will take longer to find the right buyer that's a good fit for that, or has little objection with that. Okay, so that's a pro move versus people just letting their seller see the feedback and doing nothing. And especially if the feedback goes, great house, just not the right one for my people. That didn't do a lot for me. You guys get that? I need a little more. Like, why didn't they pick it? Is it too small, too big, too much long a commute? Why didn't they pick that particular house? So managing listings going forward is going to be we're going to need a high skill set to stay engaged and stay hired, okay? Because people are complaining about their listing agents sooner than I've ever heard. By the way, I get the calls too, where people are listed with somebody with a different company. They call me and go, hey, my listing's going to be up in a couple months. This gal's never going to get it sold. Jenny's terrible, all that kind of stuff. Can we talk? And honestly, I'll look at it and go, you haven't given Jenny ample time, to be perfectly honest with you. But she hasn't communicated. She hasn't proven her value. Therefore, she probably won't keep the listing. So acquiring the listing is one thing. In a normal market, or it's becoming more of a balanced market, managing it is a huge skill set, okay? And you just get better over time. Don't expect to master it right away. It's just not how this thing works. Pre-MLS, as we talked about, is now syndicated to Zillow and Realtor.com, and there may be other places. So why in the world would we have a listing that has any kind of ramp up time that we wouldn't use coming soon first and then go live, okay? When you tell the seller, the old days, you would tell the seller, hey, I like to do coming soon while we're ramping up so I can get some marketing of your property with the 13,000 agents and their customers in Kansas City in that 30-day ramp up of getting the house ready. And most sellers are thrilled with that. Now you can add to that. Oh, and by the way, the whole world gets to know about it as well, okay, through Zillow, Realtor.com. So almost all sellers, if they understand the concept, where would you get pushback on any of that? Tell me, am I missing something?
I've got one. She's just stressing there's so much stuff that has to be done with the house, so much stuff that has to be called out. So she's just
Common.
like, I can't give a hard day at all. Not even a hard day, not even a soft day.
Okay, there you go. If it's completely unknown, I get that. But the bulk of them, especially if it's a 30-day kind of ramp up or something, I'm going to say, here's the deal. Let's get this in the pre-MLS this week. Let's go ahead and forecast out that we're going to use September 1 for our launch date. As we get within a week or 10 days of September 1, we'll revisit and see how the process is going. And it's so easy for me to modify that date. In fact, all I have to do is send you an email. It's that simple for you to make that change. So it's not uncommon for me to have people call me and go, hey, we got it done sooner than, and we move it up. But what's more frequently happens is I'm going to need another week. Has anybody had that happen? Yeah. And then happen again, and then again. So what? You're hired, you're the listing agent, and the whole time you're signing out there with coming soon and all that, you could potentially get prospects, okay? So we want to get hired. You guys get that? That's important. So coming soon now, I would go say, especially unless something's you just walk in and it's ready to go on the market, there's no reason to go coming soon. But those are becoming pretty rare. I can't even think of the last time I just walked in and listed a house. Maybe 1 out of 10. Most of them, there's some kind of ramp up that needs to happen on these houses. Even if it's 5 days or 7 days, hey, let's go ahead and get this thing in the coming soon. Boom, my sign's out there. Don't freak out. We're not even shooting the photography yet. And then we'll go live next week and start actually bringing the realtors through and that sort of thing. So any questions on that? Okay, coming soon, pretty important. Did I miss anything there, Brandy? Okay, last thing, reset. You guys have heard this concept because a guy named Gary Keller actually talks about it all the time. And the term is reset, R-E-S-E-T. I would suggest for real estate agents or anybody that's self-employed, Todd, you're all but self-employed, that you guys start doing this instead of annually or semi-annually. It is kind of mid-year, so it's a great time to kind of do a reset of your business and ask yourself some simple questions. But this is something that I think people should do more frequently, like at least quarterly, and for most of us, probably monthly. But simply stop and look and see, how did that first half of the year go, for example? We're now in our 7th month, but let's just say the first 6 months. Let's reflect, first of all, how'd the first 6 months go? Did I make my goals? Did I work as hard as I said I was going to? Ask yourself some fair questions, but reflect back on that first half of the year. Was the market better than we expected? Was it more difficult than we expected? Todd still hasn't lowered the rates. It's on him a little bit, but nonetheless, let's reflect on what happened for us. By the way, we have agents in our office right now that are 50, 60, 70% above where they were last year. Okay. We have some people crushing it. We have a lot of people that are behind their pace of last year. Some of us significantly behind. That's cool too. I can't do anything about the last 6 months, but I can engineer the next 6 and the 6 after that. You guys get that? So, and by the way, some of our people that are way, way behind their normal pace, been in the business 10, 12, 15 years. So I'm not talking about just people 2 years in. So give yourself a little grace in this business. It can be very difficult to sustain. So reflect, look back, evaluate what all took place. In other words, what exactly took place and what's the gaps? If my goal was to do a certain amount of business and I did this, what is that gap and why did it occur? And then what am I going to do differently? For example, you really should not only evaluate your business, but any other goals you set. Let's say you had some fitness goals, whatever those goals were. Where are you? Hey, I said I was going to lose 20 pounds. I've lost 4. Why is that? And you quickly can figure out why that 16 pounds didn't happen. So evaluate it, right? But keep things really, really simple. Narrow your focus. If you're going to get and change your business and get where you want in things, you really have to simplify things and go, a lot of the noise that I'm doing for this and for that and picking up kids and grandkids, I'm going to kind of see if I can push some of that away and not say yes to everything and stay in a little bit narrower lane. People with more focus tend to kind of hit their goals a little bit easier. I think we have to establish exactly what we're going to do for that remaining part of the year. If again, a mid-year checkup, establish what the second half of the year looks like. I'm simply going to do this and whatever it might be, lose 10 pounds, do more business. And then what are the activities that are going to make that happen? This is where you can't be vague. If you go, hey, I'm going to ramp my business up and get back tracking to my goals in the second half. That sounds great. But if Shelby's telling me that, then I'm going to go, hey, well, that's cool, Shelby. Tell me more about that. What's that look like for you? Does that mean more activities, more open houses? Does that mean doing mailers? Does that mean calling, oh my gosh, for sale by owner and expired? Ooh, freak out, right? All that kind of, what's that look like? What are the things that are going to happen to expect a different result in the second half of the year? You guys get that? So be exact. Don't be vague. If you're just vague, like, hey, it's going to happen, it most likely won't. So be very, very intentional and purposeful as to what you're going to do. And lastly, you're probably going to have to time block some time to make it happen. Again, I've seen you guys, I'm not going to quit saying this. If we could force you to be in here from say 10 a.m. to noon every single day, most people would probably be on track for their business goals. It's just how it would work. That's never going to happen. And are we going to require that? No? Dang it. So yeah, I've envisioned a time card when you come in and you have to check in. It goes, and it says 10:01 and you get to leave at 12:01, right? And we strap you to a desk with a phone and some water and snacks, that kind of stuff. If that's how things went, the probability of success would go up higher. But we got into real estate because we don't want to be controlled like that. Would you guys agree with that? So think about what a reset might look for you guys, look like for you. I know for the Market Center, we're kind of constantly always doing this. We check in on the business monthly. We check in on it quarterly big time. And certainly mid-year, we do a complete analysis of budget and all those things. But we're looking, what do we need to modify? What do we need to change and all that kind of stuff. What questions? Any ahas? Anything, anybody we need to talk about? Anything to do with roofs, contingency, any of this stuff? No? We're good?
I think we covered like everything in real estate.
I think we're done. Yeah, we're fully trained. Congratulations.
You have one more thing, and it's the what's it called? The board duty calendar. It is changing due to circumstances beyond our control. Keller Williams is getting rid of our calendar. The website mykw.kw.com, that website is going away. We are having to pivot. They kind of just let all the market centers just decide what you're going to do for your own calendar. So we'll capture whatever's already in there and transfer it over to whatever new system we're gonna have, probably a Calendly. Hard word to say, Calendly. We'll figure that out here real quick. So at the end of July, that website's going away. So stay tuned. If you're interested in board duty, stay tuned. We'll get the new system out to you ASAP. All right, guys, we're done. Have
Go
a
sell
great
some houses.
Wednesday.
So you guys had a good time? Good, good. It's a pretty area, isn't it? Now were you in the grill? Is that what, or what?
They just showed up. What? I thought you were doing something. Like, what you gonna do?